Land of bear and land of eagle, land that gave us birth and blessing, land that calls us ever homeward. We will go home across the mountains. We will go home, we will go home, we will go home across the mountains. We will go home, singing our song. We will go home. Hear our singing, hear our longing, hear our tales of hearth and fire. Here is our joy of sons and daughters. We will go home across the mountains. We will go home, we will go home, we will go home across the mountains. We will go home, singing our song. We will go home. Sapphire skies and diamond waters, emerald forests stretching high, golden fields that never tarnish. We will go home across the mountains, land of bear and land of eagle, land that gave us birth and blessing, land that calls us ever homeward. We will go home across the mountains. We will go home, we will go home, we will go home across the mountains. We will go home, singing our song. We will go home, we will go home, we will go home, we will go home.
Audiences only. The opinions expressed by the hosts and audience members are their own and are not connected to or reviewed in advance by Warehouse38.tv. Any issues arising from this webcast or its contents should be directed to the individual commentators. Warehouse38.tv is not responsible for the veracity of any of the following content.
Pagan TV is dedicated to education about modern pagan religions and is committed to the protection, welfare, and guardianship of the rights of all people to worship as their hearts and minds dictate. Modern Pagan TV considers education of the non-pagan public and of our own world community about pagan religions to be of paramount importance and encourages open dialogue across all platforms with the understanding that all voices have an equal right to be heard. Modern Pagan TV encourages participation in multiple spiritual events as the tradition and the individual deems appropriate, and maintains that courtesy and open-mindedness and not denigration are paramount to any discussion. So sit back or join in. Modern Pagan TV is streaming live.
The pitch got higher, all the drums went out to the edge, and it got higher, and it got loud, and the girls were out screaming and, shrieking and dancing. And when it got to this peak, it just stopped, dead silence. It was beautiful.
Good to see everybody again.
Yeah, absolutely. In the month of May, the merry month of May.
When all of our cares away. Hooray, hooray, the 1st of May.
And it snowed last night.
Well, it didn't on my part of the world.
No, mine neither, but it snowed.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is strange.
Yep.
People don't think about that in Colorado.
No, but the latest snow that I've ever had was June 12th. Yes. I remember. I remember going out and seeing like an inch and a half of snow on June 12th. So July and August, you're pretty much snow-free in Colorado.
Unless you're way up in the mountains.
So just remember that. If you hate snow, don't move to Colorado. We got enough people here already.
Yeah,
anyway.
That's true. That's true. But watch the show.
Yeah, watch the show and we'll tell you about but don't move to Colorado. Yeah.
In fact, if you are watching the show for the first time, the chat room is up and going. I can see that right now. So we have people in the chat room, so that's cool. People are chatting away. And if you have questions for the hosts or any of the presenters tonight, you just let the chat room moderator know that, and they'll zip that question over to us. So that's cool. And then you can watch us on YouTube. You can go onto our website, www.modernpagan.tv. The shows are archived there. And you can go to YouTube and see the different segments. One of the favorite ones that I did with you is still got to be the chocolate truffles.
Yep, the witch's balls, I think was what they were called.
Chocolate
witch's balls, something like that. I don't know what the actual title is, but it was something that seems to be getting a lot of hits.
If you put chocolate truffles in, you'll come up with a segment in. Mostly you see the top of my head because I'm laughing so hard. I didn't want to roll over and on the floor clutching my stomach and so it was funny. But anyway,
I am super excited tonight. We have a guest star tonight that is just I have loved her music for years.
I do
and SJ or Suj Tucker is with us tonight.
Yes.
Yay! And it was just one of those odd things. She's going to be here for Beltinia, and
this weekend.
Yeah, I sent her a note saying if you're ever going to be in Colorado on a Tuesday night, and she's like, "Oh, I'll be here this Tuesday." And it's like, "Please come on!" And I begged, and I think she felt sorry for me. She felt sorry for me, so she decided to come on. So it's going to be really cool.
I'm very excited.
I am.
She's using Phil's drum.
Oh, cool! I'm as excited as
you're watching
an Irish
Phil,
wolfhound in a sausage factory. That's how excited I am.
Yeah.
And so what else we got going? We got to do astrology, right, tonight?
Well, actually, we have a really cool thing. We actually have a little astrology, because I don't know about you, but, I like to do my horoscope, but I don't understand the thises and the that's and the that's here and the, and
conjunctions and all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't.
It looked too much like algebra for me when I first started doing witchy stuff, so I stuck with the cards.
It was much worse than algebra. So we thought that what we would do tonight is we'd take a little break and do an actual little training session for those of us who don't speak astrology.
Okay.
So we're going to do a little training session.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Then we're going to come back and be politically incorrect.
All right, then. So
because we're never that.
Here is our astrology lesson for tonight.
Absolutely. Take it away.
Hello, my name is Pat Lindgren. Thank you for joining us for Modern Pagan TV. I'm going to give you the description of the elements in a chart. There are 4 elements represented within an astrological chart. In the element of fire are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. In the element of earth are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. In the element of air are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. In the element of water are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. The fire signs of Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius express through a desire to initiate an action and bring inspiration and intuitive knowing into their processes. The earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, express through the desire for a tangible container or structure. They are slower to act and typically more cautious. The air signs of Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius bring thought and the desire for communication into the process. The water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, express through a desire to feel and to sense. They bring the component of emotions and feelings into the process. Now we are going to give you a description of modes in an astrological chart. There are 3 modes that operate within the signs: cardinal, fixed, and mutable. Within each of these elements, fire, air, earth, and water, the 3 modes express. Cardinal means action and expresses through raw, uncontrolled energy. Cardinal expressing through a feminine sign could express in a manipulative manner or through the desire for structure, and when expressing through a masculine sign could express in an imposing and demanding manner. Fixed expresses through sustenance and lends structure to the zodiac. Fixed signs vibrate more slowly. Fixed expressing through a masculine sign expresses as stubbornness, while through a feminine sign expresses as rigidity. Fixed does not like to be pushed. Mutable signs express through communication. The masculine mutable signs express through change, diversity in thought, while the feminine expresses through a sensitive or tangible level. Because an astrological chart takes into account all these layers, we are able to see a multidimensional picture of a person or event. We are able to see talents, gifts, and helpers, as well as the challenges that will help us refine who we are. These layers are what make the astrological aspects unique to each of us and useful as a tool for self-knowledge and growth, as well as helping us to refine our magical work. There are masculine and feminine expressions that are assigned to the signs. This does not mean that a person born under a masculine polarity sign behaves more masculine, or a person born under a feminine polarity sign is more feminine in mannerisms or behavior. This simply means that the polarity process of masculine and feminine is in force, and polarities have a specific way of functioning. The masculine signs are driven by the desire to express that which is observed outside of the self, and they express it in an outward manner. They process information from the aspect of an external process. While the feminine is driven by the desire to express that which is within, that which affects the self, and thusly are driven to express through a reflective or internal process. Thank you for joining us for Modern Pagan TV's Flying Through the Skies Astrological Report, and I look forward to seeing you next week.
Said I'll only do that if you take the helmet off. So it was one of those. Oh, hi, we're back. So, yeah. We're going to be talking. We're going to do this. Okay, we're going to do this.
Short time only.
A short time only. Advertise for free on Modern Pagan TV. For a limited time, we're offering free advertising. Yes, that means free airtime on Modern Pagan TV. If you provide us with a 60-second commercial as an MP4, QuickTime video, or link to your commercial on YouTube, we will run it for free on MPTV.
For a short time only.
And they reserve the right to refuse any advertising. We cannot guarantee placement or run times, and the offer may expire at any time. But right now, advertising is free!
Free!
Free! You'll say it with me, everybody! Freedom! Okay, there we go. If you do not have... It's free. It's $0 and 0 cents. Okay. If you do not have a commercial, we will be happy to produce one for you at an extremely economical rate. And that means that you can afford it. It's not going to be like $1 million. Okay. And you can put this commercial on your website and or your YouTube channel. Go to Modern Pagan TV, contact/advertise on MPTV for more details. This is the deal of the mainstream media doesn't want you to find out about. Global video advertising for free! That's right. We have people from all over the world watching this. India, France, Canada,
Australia,
Kansas. We've got people from everywhere. Texas. We have Texans. If there's any Texans out there, woo! Texas. If you need a commercial to take advantage of this offer, please contact info at Modern Pagan TV right now.
ModernPagan.tv.
.tv. I forgot the dot. Modern Pagan
saw it.
TV. Okay, that was good. So that was my commercial thing. Did I ever tell you I used to work
That was
in a radio station?
No,
It was,
did you
it was
really?
horrible. It was a country western radio station, and I cannot stand country music. I would like say, and now here's the Oak Ridge Boys, and I would turn it down and watch the little needle, because this was back when we used to have these things called records, girls and boys. They were large vinyl
But they were
things.
just big CDs.
Yeah, and they
Come
were
on,
kind of like that.
just
But we had
big
needles, and you could just watch the
CDs,
needle
just
go
big
over, and then
CDs.
right at the very end, I would turn it up and say, and it wasn't that great, and then we'd go on to the next thing. The worst part is sometimes they would start skipping, and I wouldn't know till the manager would call and say, it's skipping again. It's like, okay, I hate
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Well,
it
your
was-
background is just...
Yeah, I think that he finally figured out I didn't like country music. That's when I only worked there about 6 months, and then when he finally figured out that my heart wasn't really into hearing Elvira every hour on the hour, that they let me go. So
So I shouldn't break into that.
no, anything by the Oak
Yeah.
Ridge Boys is probably gives me nightmares to this
I
very
like
day.
I like their Christmas Carol song though. I think that's cute.
Yeah, there's some
That's a
good
little old
bits.
lady that was.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's some really good country music. The place I was at, I spent like hours reading pork belly futures and stuff. It was in the middle of the Midwest, and it's like, it's like pork bellies are up 4.2% today, and does anybody really care? All right, so what's
Does
next?
that mean that the pigs were like sucking it
I think
in?
so, yeah. They were standing on something. I'm not sure. I never understood the whole pork belly future, and it was like a prediction thing.
I know, it was.
It's gonna
yeah.
be
All right, we're
interesting.
doing timely tips. So last week you saw the really cute little animal like enemies that got together and played nice with each other. Well, it's back to reality today, and a friend sent me this video, and it's actually a senator, not one of ours, not the ones from Colorado, God knows it wouldn't be one of ours, not with this message, who is opposed to some of the cuts in healthcare. And I wanted to also, in fact, maybe I'll put that on in my little timely tips. There's an article published today about a cancer survivor. She's a breast cancer survivor, and she got this bill for $280. And the thing about it, I mean, that doesn't sound astronomical. The thing about it was that she actually didn't owe it. It was actually an accounting mistake. But the state troopers came to her house, handcuffed her, dragged her, well, I don't know if they dragged her, took her out to the state trooper car and put her in jail over $280 that she in fact did not owe, and then it cost her over $600 to defend herself against a bill that she didn't owe. So keep that in mind while we watch this clip.
Mr. Rogers?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I can't tell you how much I'm disappointed at what a lost opportunity we have to, I think, solve a huge problem in healthcare and access and quality to some, even by your numbers, 46 million, and that's about 15% of the American population. Abraham Lincoln said, you can't make a weak man strong by making a strong man weak. And so what we've decided to do today is abandon the very principles of America and say, you know what, it's so hard and it's so difficult, we're going to punish the 85% of Americans who have earned health care benefits as a part of their employment, and we're going to punish them and the employers who give it to them to try to cover the 15% that don't have it. That doesn't hardly seem like a solution that any of us would come to. Why would we punish the part that's working to cover the part that's not? It's like taking a queen-size sheet and trying to put it over a king-size bed. I will guarantee you the corners are going to come up. That's exactly what we've done here today. And this notion that it's either this or nothing is the chairman's choice. It's the Democrats' choice, that it is either this or nothing. You present us very false choices. And let me tell you about the trade-offs by going to this government-run system. And clearly it is, by the way, in Section 141 under the Health Choices Commissioner Act, they can actually go in and disenroll individuals. Unprecedented power by the federal government. They can rip you off your own individual plan. It's in the bill. Oh, matter of fact, if you're an employer, $250,000 of payroll, that's gross payroll, not much. Guess what? They can disenroll your whole company off a certain plan. Tell me that you don't work for the federal government. Unbelievable. And here's the other trade-off. According to the National Cancer Institute, the National Cancer Intelligence Center for the United Kingdom, and the Canadian Cancer Registry, here's the trade-off that they picked by having government-run health care. If you get prostate cancer, you have a less chance of survivability than you do in the United States. And that's the same for skin cancer, breast cancer, bladder cancer, cervical cancer, kidney cancer, ovarian cancer, is leukemia, and the list goes on and on and on. So what you have said to America is, we give up. It's just too hard. The government has to do it. That's insulting. So what you're going to do is you're going to look your mothers and your daughters in the eye and say, I'm sorry, we couldn't figure it out. We wouldn't allow innovation to do it. We're not going to allow the private sector to fix this problem for us. That's too hard. But I am going to tell you that if you get breast cancer, I'm sorry, honey, you have less of a chance of survival than you did before this bill passed. I will not punish any woman in America to this kind of system, knowing how great America is. The very innovation of who we are is what got us here. And it wasn't the federal government, and it wasn't Washington, D.C. It was individuals who stood up for themselves and said, we can do better. And because of that, we have the greatest middle class in the face of the earth. And this is one more tick in their ability to succeed in America. We've already told them that, gee, your energy prices were too high, middle class. We're going to raise those with cap and trade. Oh, by the way, we're going to tell you what kind of car to drive. We're going to tell you what kind of light bulb you can put in. Oh, I'm going to tell you what kind of window you have to replace your house with. And oh, by the way, now I'm going to pick your doctor and your plan for your future. We must and can do better. This is a travesty, Mr. Chairman, and I yield back my time.
By the way, the gentleman's time.
We lost part of that.
Well, okay.
Okay. All right. So at least somebody in Washington. Now, of course, that got passed anyway. But I think he had some really valid points about getting a group of legislative appointees sitting around saying what kind of health care you're allowed to have and what kind of procedures you're allowed to have, and
I think that anybody in Washington, if they're going to pass health care, that they should have to be on whatever bill they pass. That would be the perfect way to fix it. Thank you.
Because
it's like they get amazing health care as soon as you get elected there. So it's
if you want the golden parachute, serve 2 years in the legislature, and you've got the retirement, you've got the, you get your salary for the entire rest of your life. I mean, it's
and it's just hard. It's really hard for me to even watch these people do this. I don't know. I'm not even sure where I am on the whole political activism thing, because it's like it feels like you go and carry signs and yell, and it just doesn't do anything.
I'm seriously thinking of writing that in on my ballot.
I'll do Cthulhu, and then we'll see what happens.
Okay. No, seriously, because no, absolutely not.
Not even lesser of two evils sometimes.
There isn't one. There isn't a lesser of two evils. But, so that's, anyway, we have fun things coming up.
Okay, cool.
Carmen is going to do really cool. I mean, it's spring. She's over there, like, flowering.
It smells like dirt in here.
It does smell like dirt in here. That's because she has a whole bag of it on her table.
Carmen's going to get dirty tonight. That's what we're going to say.
We're going to get down and dirty. Dirty with Carmen. All right, so we're going to go to commercial. We're going to come back. Carmen's going to show you how to make this really cool planter out of some recycled stuff and paint and seeds and stuff like that. So
cool.
That's going to,
And S.J. Tucker coming up soon.
Woo-hoo! Yeah! What a show tonight!
I think you
I'm chasing twisters down avenue.
You're watching Modern Pagan TV. If you'd be interested in advertising on our program or becoming a sponsor, please email info@modernpagan.tv. We'll be right back after these important messages.
Same communication to your unspoken love. You can't break my heart.
Hey, Sarah.
Oh my gosh, she's so cute.
Been doing like I taught you. Love the new tattoo, Sarah.
Dude, that's Sarah. The girl in the pink shirt. That's the girl I was telling you about.
Theater 2 on your left. Hey, Sarah. What color underwear today?
Hey, Sarah. So when are you going to post something new?
Anything you post online, anyone can see. So think before you post.
Hi, I'm an atheist. And I'm a Christian. What are you reading over there? Oh, Harry Potter. It's good stuff. Oh, we don't like that. That's not good. Well, why not? Well, it's got all that violence and stuff in it. If people die, we can't have this. Young kids are reading this.
Well, yeah, but aren't there entire chapters in the Bible there about cities being laid to waste and stuff?
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's for a good reason. I mean...
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. All right, sex. There's tons of sex in that, I'm sure. Secular book. It's got to be sex.
Actually, there's no sex whatsoever in the Harry Potter series.
All right, well, magic. You can't deny magic. Tons of magic. Devil and magic go hand in hand. I mean, come on.
What exactly do you call it that God does?
Miracles.
Right, so he says something, and then something mysteriously happens.
Yeah, pretty much.
Magic. That's magic, right?
Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? The world is going to end now.
Hey, what do you think you're doing?
I have begun a new religion. Here is a pamphlet. Clearly states the path of enlightenment is worth $20 to me.
Why, that's completely within your right. Have a nice day.
It is often said that the tongue is the strongest muscle in the human body.
Flexible, yet firm, it is the rudder.
Just as a small spark can set the entire forest ablaze.
Just as a tiny key can unlock the largest of vaults.
So too is the tongue a key.
It is the key to our articulation,
capable of delivering a person's most powerful convictions.
Don't let your voice go unheard.
This message is brought to you by the NAB Education Foundation, the Broadcast Education Association, McCormick Foundation, and this station.
Our forefathers fought to guarantee the right of religious freedom for all Americans.
The separation of church and state, as guaranteed in our Constitution, must be preserved.
Each day, men and women in our military are being denied this right.
How can we let this happen in the greatest nation in the world?
The Military Religious Freedom Foundation is leading the fight for justice for our noble and honorable soldiers, Marines, sailors, airmen, and veterans.
As we continue to fight in the courts, in the media, and in the minds and hearts of our fellow citizens, we need your support. Please donate to the Military Religious Freedom Foundation by going to militaryreligiousfreedom.org. Your generous tax-deductible pledge will help protect religious freedom in America.
I'm chasing twisters down at...
If you like what you see here, please donate to modernpagan.tv. Just go to our website, www.modernpagan.tv, and look for the donate button. We appreciate your contributions to keep modernpagan.tv on the air and on the internet. And now, back to live modernpagan.tv.
Because not all balls have to be stiff. Some balls are...
Oh, we talked about that.
Oh, yeah, we always like to talk about that. All right. So.
Okay. Hi, everybody.
Fun stuff.
My name's Carmen Consalvo, and this is the Crafty Kitchen Witch. And we're actually doing a family project today.
We're family.
Yes.
MPTV.
So, and this is great. First thing you want to do, just about everybody out there has some sort of plastic bottle. So use the
not me, baby.
Okay, well,
I'd have to go.
I'll give you some.
Okay. I'd have to go, scavenge through somebody's trash.
Well, you can do it in an empty soda bottle or water bottle, just a little one.
Okay.
We actually have water in here today. But we had a couple of 2-liter soda bottles laying around at home. And so what we did is we poked some holes in the bottom for drainage.
Okay.
And then we sliced out. Look at that. It's a new bracelet. Isn't that awesome?
I don't know.
Well, you can put beads in the bottom. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. Okay, so we sliced out some window-like thingies.
Start a new piercing.
Yeah, there you go. And in this one here, I actually have some of my paint that's on a little bit too heavy, so it's kind of dripping down, so I had to wipe it off. I forgot to bring...
That's kind of like Tammy Faye Baker paint there.
Oh, my gosh, you're so right.
How she put on her makeup.
Yeah, really. So you pop some dirt in there, and what we're going to have Drake do, because
this is like that thing in Dune where you have to stick your hand in the trunk or whatever. Like,
Oh my gosh! What am I gonna do? Well, that was National Treasure too. National Treasure 2.
I'm getting dirt everywhere.
I know.
I'm a dirty boy. I need a spanking. Oh, wait.
This is a family time now. Family.
Oh, family time. I thought it said mature audiences only, which is why I'm really surprised because I'm so immature. I don't know why they're letting me do a show for mature audiences only.
We've been wondering that in staff meetings.
Well, you know, we actually like to play here. We like to have a good time. So,
that looks like enough dirt.
Okay.
Don't
and
you
then,
even think about it.
What we're going to do, I've got pansies planted in this one. I love pansies. To me, they remind me of little faces. Okay.
I thought we were doing columbines.
And I have pansies in here, and columbines in there. Columbines, of course, are the Colorado state flower.
That's
and where's our?
It's true.
Holy cow!
Go there.
All right, there we are. Camera right there. It's a learning experience, girls and boys.
Covered up the name of the seed company, so they can't see it.
So, it seems like most of the seeds in America tend to come from
Monsanto. Yeah, no, not these.
So, what you're going to do is go ahead and take this guy here, and kids, if you're watching this,
which you shouldn't be, because this is for mature audiences only.
Make sure that it's your adult that's with you that actually uses the sharp things to cut on the bottle, because we don't want you to get hurt. Okay. The adults will cut, and then you kids get to fill the dirt in. And then you get to put the seeds in. Okay, so the columbines go in at 1/4 inch depth. We're going to put. What I did with this is I put 4 holes. So if you want to go ahead and take
this, you put water in first.
Oh, you put.
I did put water in first.
We don't have water. Water. I'm one of the post waterers. You guys are pre-waterers.
Don't go crazy. Because
there could be a whole religious skirt.
We don't want to have a bowl full of water laying around, spilling everywhere.
Okay, there we go.
See,
now it feels like Jell-O.
Jell-O?
Well, kind of. It's kind of.
What kind of dirt do you play with?
You got that moisture thing. Those little things start expanding. Those little. I know. You got those little cool things. I love those guys. Those little pieces, little beads.
The little styrofoam thingies?
No. They're not styrofoam. They're like
Jell-O
things.
Yeah, they are. When this starts getting up, you feel it.
Oh, well, those are probably the
moisture control things. They'll start.
Well, it's Miracle-Gro, so they usually have
vermiculite and stuff like that.
Yeah, vermiculite and stuff like that. Look at how tiny these seeds are. Okay. You have good eyes, because...
No.
Yes.
We'll let Laura do it.
There's 2.
I love to plant.
I want to just...
Our garden, all of our cool stuff is already... There's only...
Oh, really?
I know, that's a good first thing. For Colorado is having some amazingly bizarre weather.
Oh, my gosh.
We have a plant that normally doesn't bloom till June that's already come and gone.
I know.
It's like...
We have so many apricots on our tree at home that I'm going to have to find a food bank to give them to, because there's just too many. We're really only going to plant 4. I always plant more just in case, they don't come up.
Yeah, you never know. Well, we haven't planted anything yet, and part of that is because my husband does most of the planting. Well, he does all the planting.
Okay, there we go.
And he's been ill, and so now you can go ahead and put a little bit of dirt over the top of that.
Okay.
Ashes to ashes and dust to dust. Okay.
No, it's Beltane. We're not doing that now.
I planted my seed in front of everybody on nationwide TV.
I knew. There. He had to get it.
He had to go there. It's the family time. Okay, so then what I did is
put some more water in it.
Well, I will do that when I get home, because I don't want it to drip all over my vehicle on the way home. However, we do have some extra dirt that we can kind of just throw in here.
I'm going to be cleaning this for a while.
Yeah, I'm going to be taking the tablecloth home and washing it. But anyway, so now what I did is I actually took some fabric paint, or fabric and craft paint, and it's a dimensional paint. So it's kind of, a lot of people call it puffy paint and everything.
Yeah, because dimensional paint sounds like it should go into other dimensions.
It does. It does.
Yeah. No, not today. So it's got a raised surface, and what I did is I sketched out the pansy. I put it on a little bit too thick. It actually kind of went out of the bottle.
So here's my question: if we painted it first and laid it down flat, do you think it wouldn't run as much?
Possibly. Possibly.
Just wondering.
This stuff is usually, I mean, it's really thick, and like I said, the purple just kind of went in the middle there.
Right,
so I did pansies on here. I got to color that in. I'm going to put some more pansies around here, and then we've got the columbine here.
Put some columbine.
And you can draw.
I want to do it.
Okay. Just squeeze it very, very gently, and you can sketch out the
squeeze
picture.
it gently. Did you hear that part?
Okay.
You finally got it. The audience is sitting there looking at me like, what did she just say? I just did a Drake. See, you didn't get it because I did it. Thank you.
So you can draw whatever you want on there, but he's not drawing.
Because we are not alone. That's why. So we got kind of sort of see it.
See, you were the one that said dimension. You had
when I was a kid and we had to make like these little flower pots for Mother's Day, and everybody would do nice things. I never did nice things for mine. That's probably why my mother doesn't like me. I don't know.
You can actually see it better if you step out of the way. You can see it a little bit better there.
Yeah. So you can do all kinds of fun stuff, kids. So don't be stuck with flowers. Your flowers can grow in all sorts of things. Dinosaurs,
put a butterfly
or pterodactyls, or whatever you like.
And one of the things you have to remember when you're using this paint here is you just apply very light pressure.
Okay. Or it goes splat.
Unless you want it, if you want the lines on there really thickly, then you squeeze it.
And don't drink it because it's ucky.
Well, it's non-toxic, but you don't want to put it in your mouth because it's made for craft purposes. You can also use it on fabric. This is specially made for fabric and crafts. So, and it's awesome. I have always had so much fun with this kind of paint. Anyway,
more than just the one little alien.
You think so?
Yes.
Well, you guys keep talking. I'll make something else.
Starship or something.
But I've got a lot
Nova.
of different.
You could do a Nova.
I bought 2 or 3 different packages of pansies and columbines and violas. I like pansies because they remind me of little faces. They look like little faces.
They do.
And the violas look like baby pansies.
Also called Johnny Jump Ups.
Yes, Jolly Jump Ups.
Johnny.
No, that's what you put your baby in when he's hanging in between the doorway, you know.
Oh, I like
and columbine is the Colorado state flower, so we wanted to use that. I'm actually going to attempt to grow columbines in my garden this year.
Not a problem. They're basically weed. Trust me.
Well,
you never know. No. We had two plants. We now have 40 by 20. Seriously.
Okay, so.
But do you have problems with deer?
No.
In honor of the coolest movie in the whole world that I just saw this weekend, Hulk Smash Bottle! Because Avengers rocked! Anybody else see it? It was great! The greatest movie ever! Sorry.
Men in Black 3 is coming out.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to be able to touch it. Joss Whedon is my god now. I'm starting a new career. Okay.
There's, for all the kids.
You should bring back Firefly.
For all the kids in your life.
That's true. All right. Are we at?
Well, cool. Ready to go?
Well, everybody, this has been the Crafty Kitchen Witch, your wonderful little project for your family.
And Mother's Day. Mother's Day.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
Yes, you're right.
That is Sunday.
And every day should be Mother's Day.
Right.
Every day should be Mother's Day.
You guys, this is what I told my kids. I want my kids to take me to see my heartthrob.
Uh-oh. Drake.
I'm sorry, my love. But there is another. His name is Johnny Depp.
Oh, yeah.
And I gotta go see Dark Shadows.
That's going to be cool.
Got to go see
That'll be
Dark
great.
Shadows.
And when they're watching this like a year from now on the archives, they're going to be like, what? That movie is so last year.
It's like,
you know what?
oh.
I can hear the sound of guitar strings being
Woo!
tuned.
Yeah,
I'm so excited.
I can too.
It's getting ready.
Right.
So I have loved this woman ever since the very first time I've heard one of her songs, and I had to get the stuff, and it was just like amazing. She has an unbelievable voice. And
and a talent for writing. That's what I find.
Yeah,
so
I just can hardly wait to talk to her.
I'm
and find out
always
where all these
impressed
ideas and stuff come from.
with musicians that write their own
stuff.
stuff.
Oh my God, I know.
I mean, it's just
we have been so lucky. The last 3 shows,
I know.
This is the third of a series of musicals.
Cool. All right, so
without further ado,
are we ready?
We're having there's a little bit touch of more ado, and now, ladies and gentlemen, S.J. Suge Tucker! Woo!
Chasing twisters down alleys.
You're watching Modern Pagan TV. If you'd be interested in advertising on our program or becoming a sponsor, please email info@modernpagan.tv. We'll be right back after these important messages.
Same communication to your unspoken voice. You can't break my
They're destroying our town. They're burning our property. We're not going to take it anymore.
People have believed in witchcraft for centuries, and in the Stuart era, we just loved accusing innocent people of being witches. Have you had an accident that wasn't your fault? Trip or fall at work? Suffered a personal injury or sickness? Then you could have been cursed by a witch. So get in touch with us at Witchfinders Direct. We'll find some innocent woman, say she's a witch, and have her burned to death. Farmer Pocket of Crawley lost all his cabbages when they were eaten by slugs. He lost literally several shillings. So he called in Witchfinders. And we decided the slugs had been sent by the strange old woman who lived in the village. Yes, her.
It wasn't me.
Yes, it was. She's old and warty and looks a bit evil, don't you think? So we had her dragged away and given a fair trial. Do you have a cat?
Yeah.
Then thou art a witch. She was put to death, and her cat sent to prison. So if you have anything go wrong in your life, call Witchfinders Direct. We'll find some innocent old woman and blame her for it. Witchfinders, because old ladies deserve it.
In the 1600s, confessing to being a witch could result in burning. Not confessing to being a witch could result in being tortured until you said you were a witch, then in burning. Not all witches were burned. Other punishments included forced fasting, exile, hanging, beheading, stoning, and gouging.
Of religion, prohibiting the free exercise thereof,
or abridging the freedom of speech,
or of the press,
or of the right of the people to peaceably assemble,
and to petition the government for a redress of grievances.
We can believe. We can believe. We can believe.
We can believe.
We can believe.
We can believe.
I have the right to believe.
I have the right to believe. I have the right to believe.
I have the right to believe. I have the right to believe.
I have the right to believe.
I have the right to believe.
I'm chasing twisters down alleys.
If you like what you see here, please donate to modernpagan.tv. Just go to our website, www.modernpagan.tv, and look for the donate button. We appreciate your contributions to keep modernpagan.tv on the air and on the internet. And now, back to live modernpagan.tv.
I first have something exclusive for Modern Pagan TV
that I finished writing at FPG last weekend and brought it to sing for you guys. So it's this crowd and everyone on the internet and the folks that were at Florida Pagan Gathering last weekend that have heard this, and that's it. This is called Element Dance.
Spirit of the green earth, strong inside us all, getting down and dirty here, hail and welcome now. Oh, to the north I am singing, Here we call you, be it so, come and guide us as we grow. Spirit of the green earth, strong inside us all, getting down and dirty here, hail and welcome now. Spirit of the wild wind, dancing through us all, kicking up some fairy dust, hail and welcome now. Oh, to the east I am singing, Here we call you, don't be shy, come and guide us as we fly. Spirit of the wild wind, dancing through us all, kicking up some fairy dust, hail and welcome now. Spirit of the fire, wild inside us all, lighting up and burning down, hail and welcome now. Oh, to the south I am singing, Here we call you, let it burn, come and guide us as we learn. Spirit of the fire, wild inside us all, lighting up and burning down, hail and welcome now. Spirit of the water, song inside us all, Mama, rain your kisses down, hail and welcome now. Oh, to the west I am singing, Here we call you, let it flow, come and guide us as we go. Spirit of the water, whoa. Spirit of the water, song inside our soul, Mama, rain your kisses down, hail and welcome now. Mama, rain your kisses down, hail and welcome now.
So this is for Laura and for Phil and for everybody who had an excellent Beltane over the weekend and last week. And if you'll get this stuck in your heads, you can go and download it at music.sjtucker.com anytime you please. You can also listen to it for free, and this is one of the ones that I have on iTunes as well.
You can say your prayers, work your rights, burn your little candles day and night. You can shimmy till dawn to the pounding drums, but you must be ready when the horn one comes, yeah. Wake to the sound of a hunting horn, dance in the ring in the gathering storm. In the solstice time, get your panties in a wad. It's the coming of the horn god. He will call you out, make you sweat, give you a blessing that you never forget. So revel in the chase and let your heart beat run. Blessed are the children of the horn one. Blessed are the children of the horn one. Rhyme. The stag in the musky glen, sort of the goddess in her woodland. We call you forth as we make our way, walking in your power every day. Guide us true in the hunt this night, maybe even later in the great ride. We'll call you out, make you sweat, give chasing at your heartbeat run. But you best be ready, little one. You best be ready when the horn winds are gonna call you out, make you sweat, give you missing that you never forget. To revel in chasing at your heartbeat run. Blessed are the children of the blessed are the children of the old one. Blessed are the children of the old one.
This is my little green guitar. This is Dragonfly. I take her all over the country. She is very easy to fly with because she is small and mighty, like me. And they don't usually mess with me when I get to the airport because she's so small she fits in the overhead. And I've been flying around a lot this year already. I was down in Florida for Florida Pagan Gathering last week, and I'm here in Colorado for Beltania this week. And as always, the Pagan family takes amazingly good care of me. So this is for all of you watching, and this is also for everybody here in the studio at Modern Pagan TV. So that last piece was on my witchy album that's called Blessings, which you can go and listen to online at music.skinnywhitechick.com. And this one is on my Mischief album, which you can also listen to on that same website. And this is my water. Excuse me. Ramping it up little by little here, I think. We started with some goddess gospel. We're going into some goddess rock now. For all the goddesses and all the witches who are young at heart and are young at the moment. This is called Witchka. Wishing wells of childhood. She's a woman grown. I tell you, girls, if I had known, I'd do it all over exactly the same. She walked into my life and I sang, "Which girl, where have you been? Tell me about the trouble you've been in." She makes every little fairy princess fade away. Here she comes and I say, "Which girl, where have you been? Tell me about the mischief. Oh, which girl? Oh, which girl? Oh, of shadows in the lock of hair. She holds me there, she does not care. Book of shadows and the light of hair. She holds me there, she does not care. Book of shadows and the light of hair. She holds me there, she does not care. Book of shadows and the light of hair. She holds me there. Which girl?
watch and wait. A witch decides, a witch is fate, and she's gonna learn the hard way, and that's alright. She says she likes it hard some nights, but keep a close eye on her witchy ways. She'll surprise us all one day. She'll surprise us all one day. She'll surprise us all one day. I say, witch girl, where have you been? Tell me about the trouble you've been in. Witch girl, how you have grown. Time to make this world your own. Witch girl, what have you done? Everything from raising hell to having fun. Witch girl, where have you been? Tell me about the mischief. Whoa. She holds me there, she does not care. Woke up shadows in a light of hair. She holds me there, she does not care. Sweet 16 and bold as love, the danger I've been dreaming of. Sweet 16 and bold as love, the danger I've been dreaming of. Sweet 16 and bold as love, the danger I've been dreaming of. 16 and bold as love, a witch girl.
Wow. Yeah.
That was amazing.
I know.
Amazing.
I know.
So.
What's that? And now you can see why she's one of our favorite artists.
I know. It's just I've listened to her to CDs over and over and over again, but to hear the voice in person is just such a blessing.
Yeah.
And hopefully she'll be joining us.
She will.
I can see her. Here she comes to our huge, massive studio.
Yes.
All the way from
Studio 3. Yeah.
I had to run so fast.
Oh, well, it's such a long way.
And you didn't run to the dragons or anything?
We're just gonna,
Cool.
No, we have a dragon. We have a dragon right there.
He's very handsome.
It's a girl.
Oh, excuse me.
She's
a girl dragon.
It's a girl.
I mean, of course you are a girl dragon.
Of course, she's a girl dragon. So, anyway,
Such
that's
a pleasure to see you in the flesh.
Thank you so much for doing her. And that is one of my favorite songs.
So thank you for asking me. Thank you both for having me tonight.
I think it's just amazing
having
that you
so much fun.
Get panties in a wad in a song. That's just my favorite line of that whole thing. It's just like
Well, I have a couple of others in there that are pretty good too. The hot part is you know, woo!
Yeah, it gets the old blood pumping.
Yeah,
yes,
it sure did. Yeah, it did.
So, tell us about yourself.
Okay, where would you like? How far back
I know very little. You were born
Gleam in
in
Your
Arkansas,
Daddy's
right?
Eye. I think we got that one.
Yes, there's that. I grew up in the Mississippi River Delta in southeast Arkansas. Yes.
You don't sound Arkansanian.
Arkansanian,
yeah.
Arkansanian,
at all.
There's plenty of insanity. There's a lot. There's a lot of magic down in that river.
Oh, yeah.
It's an amazing place and a very kind place to grow up. I think in a lot of ways. I have an incredible family and a very musical family. My father was a band director. My mother and my uncles all loved to do community theater when I was a child and were active in local church choir and things like that. And I was raised in the Methodist church, but the Methodists that I had the good fortune to land upon always have put love before anything else.
That's good.
That is their first priority. And so when it came time for me to shift my faith a little bit, I had no resentment for where I came from at all.
Seriously, boy,
that's a fantastic story.
That's nice.
And listen, and I started studying with the pagan community in Memphis, Tennessee, when I graduated college in 2001, and I moved literally across the bridge. There was a bit of an Arkansan exodus that happens from time to time, where lots of people moved to Memphis that you should have met years ago and didn't actually, because Arkansas is about this big, and you think you know all of the freaky witchy people, but it turns out that you don't, because we're all very good at camouflage down there. And so when I got to Memphis and met some other folks that had come over from Arkansas, and also found out that we were all running in the pagan community together, one of the first things that they teach you in this group that basically raised me, which is called Summerlin Grove Pagan Church, and they're still active and everything, one of the first things that they teach you when you go through their clergy training is to get right with your old faith and not have any anger or angst or resentment left over from that, so that you can be effective in your new path, so you can be as effective as possible. And so I had an opportunity through some very, very brilliant people, some of them still around and some of them crossed over to the other side, to get my head straight pretty early on as far as transitioning gracefully into paganism when the time came.
Yeah, because I've seen a lot of really angry young pagans. I remember when I first started doing this, I
was an angry young pagan.
Oh, that's a new song. I think I hear it being written.
But when I started out, I was like, I had to go
I think you should do that. I like that concept.
I had to kind of go talk to Jesus and say, listen, I think it's time for us to see other gods. You know, I've come to the end of a pathway here, and we'll still be friends.
It's been great. It's not you, it's me.
But it was really. It's like, I cannot follow anything in this darn book. I'm just a sinful son of a gun, and I just got to go somewhere else where I don't have to feel bad every day about when I get up. So
I hear you, and when you come to a place where you know that it is time for you to seek the divine on your own terms, if you're in the first world and you're fortunate enough to sort of have support to go and take that quest, and not even if you know other people, because I know plenty of magical practitioners who did not have a single friend in the world or a mentor to talk to when they were growing up, just because when you're in that's particularly saturated point of the Bible Belt, which is basically the Bible buckle, then you really do kind of have to make your own path. And it's so easy to get angry, and so easy to...
Because you feel like you didn't really have any other choices. I mean, that was what I felt like. It's like there wasn't. I mean, we had 5 different flavors of Christianity. You didn't have any other choices, and so it was like, wow, why didn't I know all this cool stuff? And for me, I didn't want a dad I had to be afraid of. I didn't want to be a God-fearing person anymore. I wanted to be a God-loving person. And
that was what I had to explain to my mom was, no, I didn't stop believing in anything. I just needed to do it my way. I needed to have church outside, as opposed to in this beautiful building that's always going to be there, but is always going to carry a little bit of, not necessarily discomfort, but just unease of fit. Like, this isn't quite where I need to be. I need to go where my soul tells me that I need to go. And I salute our teachers absolutely all over the world, our pagan elders, and anyone who gives heartfelt advice or becomes the showerhead for the word of the divine when it comes down in whatever form it comes from, because so many of us stay lost and we don't find our way. And one of the hardest things to figure out, especially, and this relates to music as well, is what on earth do you want in this world? And we're so fortunate in the States here in this part of our particular world, our particular speck of a universe, to have so many choices and so many options. It's just like voting or anything else. You can choose your flavor of religion, and there are places in this world where that is just not okay.
No.
Sexual orientation, religion, take your pick. So go
or gender.
Go team and or gender. Yes. Go freak flag team. Keep flying it high.
Yep, that's right.
Absolutely.
So were you like when you were going to school? You were into drama or music?
Oh yes,
there?
I have a theater degree.
Cool.
Yes, and that may be why I don't sound like I come from where I come from.
I think that's probably
true. Any moment, right?
That's right. You should hear that when I talk on the phone to my mama, it all comes out though.
I know. I hate that.
Believe me.
I grew up in Oklahoma, and I remember when I was trying out for the part of Curly in Oklahoma, my teacher said, "You've got that accent down perfectly." It's like, it isn't. All I had to do was go home and talk to my folks, and I was back. I mean, I had to I had to think Midwest so that people wouldn't think I was from the South, and then we were right there, and he's like, "I come with Courtney and Taylor." It's like, it's just right there. And if I talk to somebody on the phone, like a salesperson who has a Southern accent, I start doing it, they're like, y'all making fun of me. It's like, oh no, I'm not. I'm so sorry. It's just like, it's just right there.
I have a friend who's Cajun, and when she goes home to visit, it's like, Valerie, could you bring a translator for a couple weeks? Because I know you're going to make groceries, but, I understood that one. But the rest of it, translator.
Oh, same thing with accents and stereotypes about people from certain parts of the country or wherever, other countries. We make so many assumptions. But also, same thing happens with paganism, because there's so many flavors of us. And people make assumptions about you if you say that you're Wiccan. They make assumptions about you if you refuse to say what you are, if you just say, oh, I'm pagan. We have to be very careful to listen to each other and not make those judgments before we actually have an opportunity to have a conversation. It's really hard. But,
Well, and
so
I think
kudos to those of you who are
yeah,
pulling that off.
absolutely.
For
Good point. But I do find that people get locked into belief systems, and
Yeah.
even in the pagan world, it's kind of like my way, is obviously the path. Yeah.
Don't start that. Don't
I-
you do it.
Yeah, I've changed a lot since my first teachers. I very much appreciate, she's gone into the Summerland just a few months ago, but I appreciate what she gave me, but after trial and error and everything, I had to change a lot of the stuff because, I just couldn't make this peg fit in the hole anymore, so.
You have to, the term resonance relates to music and my path so very well. And in a class that I teach on sort of finding the building blocks of how you can tap into the power that music has, because there's so much power, so much. And the old world, they knew that. There were entire scales and modes and instruments that were completely banned by the church because they were so powerful, and they didn't want people to figure that out. There's in my class that I teach on that, I mention to people that you have to be aware of what resonates with you and what feels like home. And if your faith's not doing that for you, or if your high priestess or whatever situation you're in is not doing that for you, they might get a little butthurt at first if you tell them, but if you're gentle and if you're honest, and if they really do have your best interest and your spiritual growth in mind, then it'll be fine. The people who love you will continue to love you, even if you change, even when you, and of course you have to change. We all have to change, or we're done. We stop. We quit breathing.
And I think that's one of our crew was initiated just a couple weekends ago, and I asked him. Yeah, I know, it's one of our. We had a little celebration for him, and he's turning red over there. and I asked him, and he said, and I think this is what he said, or I translated it in my brain. He says, like coming home. It's like, that's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. It's finally coming home. And I remember that with my dedication. It was like, finally, I'm where I belong.
Now I know what I want to be when I grow up.
Yeah,
right. That's what my first large scale. Well, all of the first few pagan festivals that I ever went to. That's exactly what it felt like. I was like, oh yeah, this is where I'm supposed to be. Okay, cool.
It's not just me.
No, right. Well, there's that, but there was also relating it back to music because that's where I live. That's what I have to do. One of my teachers, his nickname is Grinner. He took me up to a bit of land called Wovenwold, where they had a festival called Dragon Dance back in the summer of 2002. And this is in the Missouri Ozarks. And if you go to the Missouri Ozarks at the end of July, you are going to sweat to death and you are going to be covered with ticks. We still had a fantastic time. It was the first festival I went to. I think we might not have even had 200 people there. But I got up on that stage, and at Grinner's insistence, he had brought me there. And he said, no, they really need to hear you. They need to hear you. You've got this. I was 22. That was 10 years ago. I had no idea. I wanted to go desperately, but I didn't know what I was walking into. And what I was walking into was family.
Yeah.
And it was so amazing. And so from the very first, it has been the pagan community that has supported me and lifted me up and raised me to be a confident, prolific, creative person.
No joke on the prolific. Can we bring up her webpage and show? She's got 100 albums.
Oh, not quite.
Well,
how many
albums?
There are
a lot. There are a lot.
10 and change, and then the rest live in my head. And I'm working on that.
So look at that, and it goes on and on. And
and that's my download page, which
that's the download page. You can click on those albums.
You can go listen to everything that's out there,
and you can read
free,
the lyrics
all the way through.
Yeah, you can read the lyrics. You can buy albums. You can go to iTunes. You can go to Amazon and buy them. You can buy them there. You can
absolutely,
and
you can also get the actual physical CDs. From either one of the websites, from sjtucker.com or from skinny-white-chick.com.
Yeah. Now, what's the difference between those two? Because we have that do Skinny White Chick, which I thought was really funny.
Skinny White Chick is my favorite colors and has been around the longest. The funny story about this is. Back in 2001, when I was just starting to do a whole bunch of shows. I didn't go out on the road until 2004. So we are into my 9th year of getting to play music and chase my dream full time, and I'm so blessed and so lucky. Back in 2001 or 2 or 3, I was still living in Memphis. I auditioned for bass player in another band just to see what would happen.
Sure.
And the guys that I was auditioning for, I told them the band name of mine had been Skinny White Chick for a few years now. Because we started it when I was 19 with 2 friends of mine who decided they were going to be my band and they were going to be my bass player and my drummer. And I'm like, I love you guys. All right, let's do this. And so we started. And they looked at me and they were like, "You've bought the web domain for that, haven't you? You've bought SkinnyWhiteChick.com, haven't you?" And I'm like, no, because this was sort of at the dawn of everyone realizing, oh my gosh, I have to have a website. And so I hadn't, and I was kind of sheepish about it. And they were like, no, here's a chair, sit in front of my PC, here, log on right now, buy the website right now. No, trust me. So forever I will be indebted to those guys. And they're a band. I don't know if they're still out there, but they were a band called Chess Club.
And
they're the reason that website is there.
Play with them then?
No, I didn't end up being their bassist, but that's okay. I'm sure that they found someone wonderful. I think it was because I was already so busy doing my own thing. I think they were kind of like, she's gonna outrun us in a minute. She's gonna fly off, and we're not gonna.
Let's look at the YouTube. Let's look at the YouTube site because we have lots of YouTube stuff up there.
And you guys
hopefully you'll load us.
You guys can find my 2 official music videos on YouTube. There's one called Playing D&D, which is the first, filmed by Mr. Ben Dobbins of Dead Gentleman Productions.
And
I adore
love those guys.
I love
I'm a
them
big
too.
D&D
They're
player.
great.
We do like 3 times a week.
They're watching. They just got done filming another season of Journey Quest, so they got the funding for that.
Excellent,
It's gonna be great.
excellent.
And then the brand new video that we released earlier this year is for my song Neptune, which I love, and which you can. In which you can watch me suffering from my art quite literally by dancing around in the freezing ocean in a tiny little flimsy evening gown. Because that's what you do when you are following your dream and you're crazy.
And all of the above. And then we have one other one. The Facebook. Yeah, she has this wonderful Facebook page. And I think that's the one where I stole the picture.
Oh, good. Yeah.
I did.
I'm proud of that one.
No, not that one. Well, I stole it from somewhere.
That is the fan page right there.
Yes.
And please come and find me. And then I have 2 personal accounts on there. And
I did the one with the hat. The Mad Hatter hat. Yeah, I like that. That's the one I stole. And that's on our website under guest resources. So you can go onto modernpagan.tv under guest resources, scroll down to the 8th of May. There's your picture.
Yay.
Yes, and then there are links to all those other places
Thank
too.
you.
So
That's fantastic.
absolutely. Yeah. So that's cool.
Got to ask you about these.
Oh, yes.
I heard the first song I ever heard of yours was from your album, with The Girl in the Garden, and I had to go out and buy these books, but I had to go to Amazon because nobody in town carried them. I went to all. I always try to buy locally first.
Yes.
And so, tell me how you got involved with this, because I listen sometimes just to. I would spend large amounts of money if they would pay you to read these books out loud. You did such an amazing job of the vocal parts and changing your voice for the characters and stuff. And it's like, if they ever made an audiobook, you should be the person who reads this. But tell me about them. In the Night Garden and in the Cities of Coin and Spice by Catherine M. Valenti.
Yes, Catherine M. Valenti, who is one of my dearest friends on this earth. Kat and I met in March of 2006 at an event called LunaCon up in New Jersey and New York. And she actually already knew who I was, which was amazing to me at the time because I only had 2 albums done. And so to have someone who's a published author come up to me and say, oh my gosh, SJ, I love your music. I love everything that you've done. Can we go have lunch? And I'm like, yeah. Kat is wonderful and warm, and I love the worlds that come out of her brain. And she's, at this point, she's a New York Times bestselling author.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, her book, The Girl Who Circumnavigated Fairyland in a Ship of Her Own Making, hit the New York Times list. And we were all so happy. We were all so excited for her. She deserves every bit of love and every bit of adoration that people can throw at her. And as I said, she's dear to my heart. Otherwise, why would I gush? But in interviews, I call her my Shakespeare. Because it feels like almost any time that she writes a new book that I have to start writing on a new album to go with it. And that's what happened with these 2, which were, these were not her first novels, but these were the first that she and I got to collaborate on. as far as sort of a book soundtrack. That's what they're calling it now. Is a
Oh,
book
how
soundtrack.
fun!
And
How
I love the stories. It's sort of Arabian Nights style
Right,
in
yes,
both of these books,
yes.
where one character starts telling a story, and then a character in that story starts telling a story, and it goes on and
Like
on and
little
on.
Russian dolls.
Exactly, the nest, and just the songs that fell out of me when I started reading these stories, which quite literally a few things in there made me cry.
Mhm.
And I was just, and she had just sent me the manuscripts because I was so bummed out. I'd finished her poetry collection that she gave to me
Yeah.
when we met.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't have anything left of yours to read. And she's like, oh, here, let me send you an email, click. And then I have this 400-page manuscript in my inbox. And I'm like, oh, thank you, that's better. So,
Well, I just see this as kind of one book too. I think they probably
Oh,
had
yeah.
to split it up so you could actually read it without
yeah, I think
breaking yourself.
that was a
Yeah.
publisher's choice, but she
Yeah, it's just
actually,
amazing.
and there are 2 books within the 2 books.
Mhm.
So I think initially she had wanted to publish them as 1, 2, 3, and 4, but
Mm.
Bentham said, no, we're going to do 2 big chunks, and they're gorgeous. But
Oh, they are. And
at
I
any
would
rate,
sometimes read it out loud to myself. I mean, because I just had to hear the words that, resonating out.
yes, and I love reading aloud to, particularly to the people that I care about, and I just to get to do this, to create this album for her and for the books was such a joy. The way that it started was we were sitting in her house in Cleveland. She lived in Cleveland at the time, and someone, I don't remember if it was Kat or her now husband Dimitri, I don't remember who said it first, spoke up and said, wouldn't it be cool if there were an album to go along with these? And 3 hours later, literally, I came up from the basement and I had the first song written. And
Girl
I
in the
played it.
Garden?
Yes, I
Yeah.
had Girl in the Garden, and I played it for everybody in the house, and we all just wept. We all just tears streamed because we knew that this was the start of something really special. And so now I've done.
They should
I did
package
an
them
album
together.
for.
They should package them together.
Yeah, we tried that with Bantam, and they were like, "Oh, you're cute." But for Kat's Fairyland series, which she's working on now, her publisher is actually taking that thought seriously. So if I can get my work done like a good little worker bee in my cute little recording studio over the next few months, then there will be there will be at least some sort of cross promotion going on. It's possible that I may get to do some of some narration for Kat in the future. So about that audiobook you were wanting.
Mhm. I would love it.
It's possible that will happen.
A guest is asking, is there any offers from Broadway or Hollywood?
Oh, bless your heart.
Well, see, I was going to ask the same thing. Have you ever, I know you're
Oh,
kind
my
of in
gosh.
a niche. Have you ever thought about kind of going mainstream? You have an amazing range. I mean, you could like go on American Idol and kill everybody. Slay them if you have
Thank
to.
you. Wow, that's a huge compliment, Ray. Thank you. That's
Oh,
very sweet.
she could do Hearn.
Yeah, could you imagine that? Yeah.
The only problem I think with Hollywood and with Broadway and with those big, glitzy, incredibly well-funded situations is that once someone decides that you are a way for them to make money,
Yes.
you don't get to be yourself anymore.
Yeah. I know. Yeah.
You're not
Yeah.
allowed to do the creative things that feed your
Right.
soul
Right.
necessarily. And I
Yeah.
am very fortunate right now in that I pretty much get to do. I am my own boss,
Yeah.
which means I never get any vacation, but that's another story.
Yeah, 'cause you
It
have to go to all
also
those
means-
horrible pagan festivals.
I know, and I
it's
never get enough
awful.
sleep, and she's going to work me till I die, and I'm pretty sure she's sleeping with my boyfriend. Anyhow, I love the way that things are now so very much, and I, of course, in college was a theater student and was pretty serious about storming every door that I could in New York
absolutely.
and making some
Yeah.
noise.
Yeah.
And the way that things are now, I'm not bound to any one world.
Yeah.
I can play for everyone. I can play for my tribe, which I consider the pagan community my tribe, absolutely. Anytime they ask me, pretty much. I don't have to worry about who else's career I might be benefiting or what the tabloids are going to say about me, thank goodness.
Or the contracts. I
And
don't
there's
know
a lot.
if you-
There's a lot to
yeah.
be said about taking that plunge and shooting for that big deal and shooting for megastardom. And I give mad props to everyone who has made it. But for me, I really haven't had anyone give me an offer that I couldn't refuse yet.
Okay, so no dead horse heads in the bed or things like that.
No dead horse heads. Although
that's good.
although the whole alligator in the house thing has made for some shenanigans.
Okay,
let me tell
we
you.
haven't heard this story. Okay,
We
where's
haven't
the
heard
alligator in
about
the
the
house?
alligator.
Okay, so
No,
we'll
we have to
segue
do-
from
All right.
from the Hollywood question. Thank you for that, Socrates. Thank you for coming in on Facebook and asking that. I would jump for it if the right situation comes along and the right offer comes along. I will not turn it down, but I will at least consider it. And thank you for that huge compliment.
Okay.
So as far as alligators in the house go, I have an amazing collaborator in this world whose name is Betsy Tinney. She is my cellist. She is amazing. If you want to look her up, she's at stealthcello.com. She is one of my dearest friends on this earth. She is my best friend. And I have so much fun playing music with her. And I'm out on the road without her right now, but we both have busy schedules because people have started to figure out that she's really awesome, so I'm not the only one who gets to play with her anymore, which I support fully. She started writing songs a little bit after I met her. She started writing her own songs. And Alligator in the House was the first one that she finished that she was proud of. And we had to talk about it a little bit. She said, I don't know, it's kind of weird. Do you think they'll like it? And the first time I heard it, I was rolling around on the floor laughing. I thought it was brilliant. And she let me write, I think, 2 verses and a chorus to add to it. We recorded it almost by accident. And since then, it's sort of been the crowd favorite, bar none, no matter where I play, no matter if it's a witchy gig or a secular gig or I'm playing in a coffee shop, it doesn't matter. Alligator in the House always goes over well. It never falls flat.
There's a comment from somebody in the chat room that says they purchased everything from iTunes, and would you please put more out there?
Yes, I promise. Thank you. Thank you.
And speaking of more, we're going to go to commercial, and then Ashley's going to do some more for us.
Yay!
All right. No, we're not going to commercial.
No
We're
commercial?
going right to Studio 3.
Okay, so you're going to
Run
run
to
away
Studio
back now.
3.
Okay.
Yeah, be careful of the pit, okay?
Yeah, just the
Here in our
pit.
beautiful modern pagan TV land there.
Yeah, so this
okay,
is
that
just-
was exciting. I can't think of anybody who I would be this excited about seeing. I just loved her music. If Freddie Mercury came back, maybe I'd be almost this excited.
Almost,
So, yeah,
but not quite.
He'd be kind of rotten in a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, I love you, Freddie, wherever you are. And buy these books too. This is actually supplanted.
Why don't we get her to Skype in and be a guest?
Yeah,
Why
that would
don't
be
you
great.
write
I would
her?
love. I'll see if we
Write
can
her.
find out. Yeah, because maybe we can get a connection because these are just
SJ can probably tell us how to get in touch
passed
with her.
Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter and everything in my world. I just can't say enough of good things about them.
All right. Well, we need to get her on the show.
So here it is.
Absolutely. Are we ready to go? We
Once
are
more.
getting close.
I can hear guitars being tuned.
Yes. We always like to hear those guitars being tuned.
Okay, and
here we go.
Sounds like an awkward pause.
Okay, I'm good. Thank you. So I last thing I talked about was Alligator in the House, so I better put my money where my mouth is and play it, I think.
There's an alligator in the house. A toothy grin appears beneath my chair. A scaly tail goes sliding out of sight. Now it's gone. Was it ever there? Something odd has moved into the house. Reptilian tracks lead underneath the bed. And all the cats are tasty, fat, and scared. But I don't think we've lost any yet. So what's the big deal? Doesn't everyone have an alligator somewhere somehow? And maybe this one has always been here, but I never noticed until now. There's an alligator in the house, just caught her napping in the living room. She was dozing on the velvet couch, and the cats were sleeping there too. There's an alligator in the house. No one seems to mind except for me. Well, at least she doesn't eat the cats. I suspect she'd rather eat me.
You know, it didn't occur to me until now. This is probably of particular significance to anyone who has alligator as an animal totem. And anyone who lives down in Florida or in Arkansas or in Louisiana for whom this is possibly a reality and not just a cute little funny song.
There's an alligator in the pit, cha-cha-cha. She is dancing wildly with the snakes to win them over to her cause. She will do whatever it takes. They think I don't see their little smiles as they plan reptilian overthrow. But I hear them talking in my dreams. They will not be sad to see me go. So what's the big deal? Doesn't everyone have an alligator somewhere somehow? And maybe this one has always been here, but I never noticed until now.
Okay, normally Betsy's here with me and she plays this gorgeous cello solo here. It's a beautiful opera joke. And I'm just going to have to do it on your own, so you guys are going to have to use your imaginations. You ready?
La 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 la
about my toes. The alligator seems to think they're nice. I've counted all of them 100 times, but I never got the same answer twice.
There's an alligator in my bed. She is not a master of disguise, just a pillow waiting for my head. Soft and sweet and hungry she lies. When I go to bed. There's an alligator in the house. Today she joined me for a spot of tea. She helped herself to raspberries and cream, and she didn't leave any for me. Well, I thought that I had seen it all, but this alligator proved me wrong. Like a lady as she sipped her tea, she sang to me this little song. So what's the big deal? Doesn't everyone have an alligator somewhere somehow? I know that you'd miss me if you found me gone, though you never noticed until now. So what's the big deal? Doesn't everyone have an alligator somewhere somehow? And maybe this one has always been here, but I never noticed until now.
I swear. What do I know from alligator? I don't know from alligator. Ole. So I'm going to tune briefly because it matters to me that I sound good for you guys.
You do sound good.
Thank you. I have a tiny little tuner on my head stuck right here. That's what I'm staring at when I do this. We live in the future. I have tiny little machines that know exactly what note I'm playing. It's amazing. There we are. All right. So you can find alligator in the house in two places. You're like, what? No, there's an alligator in the house. That's where you find the alligator. No, that's not what I meant. I meant online on either my Sirens album or my band's album. The band is called Tricky Pixie. The album is called Mythcreants. And we We have two different recordings of Alligator in the House there. Both of them feature Betsy on her cello. And you can find those, you can find Sirens on iTunes. You can find both of those albums at music.sjtucker.com. So going back to the sacred from the silly now. I'm not trying to give you guys whiplash. This is a song called Witch's Rune. It may sound familiar to many of you who've been in the craft for a while. This is on my Blessings album.
Darksome night and shining moon, balance of the dark and the light. Hearken ye, O witches, rune, as we perform our sacred rite. By earth and water, air and fire, by blade and bowl and circle round, we come to you with our desire. Let all that is hidden now be found. With censer, candle, book and sword, and ringing of the altar bell, we tie a knot within our cord to bind our magic in a spell. Mother of the summer fields, goddess of the silver moon, join with us as power builds, dance with us our witch's rune. Father of the summer dew, hunter of the winter snows, with open arms we welcome you, dance with us as power grows. Dance with us, our witch's rune. Oh, dance with us, our witch's rune. Oh, dance with us, our witch's rune. Mother of the summer fields, goddess of the silver moon, join with us as power builds, dance with us, our witch's rune. Father of the summer dew, hunter of the winter snows, with open arms we welcome you, dance with us as our grows. Dance with us, our witch's rune. Dance with us, our witch's rune. By all the light of moon and sun, by all the might of land and sea, chant the rune and it is done, as we will so mote it be.
Thank you all for listening and for watching. This will be my last one. It's actually the newest thing that I have up for you to download at music.sjtucker.com. It's a song called Rootless. And this will be the title track of my next pagan-specific album when I get it ready to go. This is for all of you who are not allowed to be as witchy and as freaky as you would like to be at all times. Whether you have to literally hide your true self at school, at work, at home, at your mom's house, at the hospital, on the battlefield. This is for our teachers, our healers, our soldiers. All of us who walk the scary paths so that everyone else knows where it's safe to go. Blessed be and thank you.
Shield brother calls to beg me. Get a message to his girl. Ancestor stirring, sending messages through our own across the world. And I am listening, I am following, as warriors of the light can only do. We ride rootless on heavy medicine every day until our lives are through. We ride rootless on heavy medicine, disconnected from the ground. We ride rootless in dark places, unafraid that we might fall or die or drown. We are working, we are tireless, we are seekers of the way. We ride rootless on heavy medicine. We live to fight another day. Yeah. It's time to do the work, though my bones and blood are wild, with lessons learned and secrets shared. Friends and lovers help me put my armor back together, and never let me leave home unprepared. Oh, my comrade sets a cello to his shoulder, and I know today there'll be no turning back. We'll ride rootless on heavy medicine, unashamed of what we lack. We ride rootless on heavy medicine, disconnected from the ground. We ride fearless in dark places, hearts in danger but our spirits safe and sound. We are working, we are tireless, singing songs to stir the sky. We are on a bound to share these visions, walking tall and getting by, walking tall when we don't fly. Yeah, 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 yeah. Dirt beneath my nails, I claw my way home from the forest, just as crazy as before. But I am breathing, I am laughing, taking one step at a time, bringing truth from door to door. And I'm not the only one of many, unafraid to open eyes or heart or mind. We ride rootless on heavy medicine, and we do it all the time. We ride rootless on heavy medicine, disconnected from the ground. We ride windward across the wasteland. Skin in danger, but our hearts all safe and sound. We speak the language of song and shadow. Ooh, we are tenders of the flame. We ride rootless on heavy medicine. And from day one we've never been the same. Hey, 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 hey. Na, ya, 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 ya. Na, ya, 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 ya. Oh, oh, oh. Do, 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 do. We are healers, working retail, a working graveyard without pay. We tell stories in our circle. We listen or we dance or we just pray. We are working, we are tireless. Oh, we are keepers of the way. We ride rootless on heavy medicine. Don't you know we walk it every day? Oh, we ride rootless on heavy medicine. Disconnected from the ground. We ride rootless in dark places, unafraid that we might fall, die, or drown. We are working, we are tireless. Oh, we are the teachers of the way. We ride rootless on heavy medicine. And we live to fight another day. 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 You are here so the stories get told. Don't give up, right up, be bold. Build a fire bright and strong. Speak your truth and sing your song. You are here so the stories get told. God has blessed your weary soul. Raise your voice to call the cry. Storytellers never die. God has blessed your weary heart. Tried and tested, torn apart. Holding hands around the flames. Healed and whole we rise again. God has blessed your weary soul. We are here so the stories get told. And we live to fight another day.
Next time you come to Colorado?
Well, she's going to be at Beltane, so
yeah.
everybody can go down there and
come back, right?
bring your CDs down there,
Okay.
and you'll sign them for everybody?
Absolutely.
All right, so bring all your CDs so she can sign them for you.
And buy more there, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Please,
please.
so I don't have to fly with them after the weekend is over.
Yeah, there you go, there you go. So we will see you next week. We'll
I'll
see you
see
at
you next month.
Beltane. Yeah, absolutely.
And
Blessed be.
be.
Thanks for watching Modern Pagan TV. We'll be back at the same time and the same place next week with more. If you like what you see here, please go to our website, www.modernpagan.tv, and contribute generously. And don't forget to tell all your friends about Modern Pagan TV. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and visit our site regularly. We'll see you next week with more Modern Pagan TV. To all people of all spiritual beliefs, we say good night, namaste, and blessed be.